Getty Images. For the past 7 months, fellow conservatives have pointed to Donald Trump's appointment of Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court and the deregulatory efforts of the Trump White House, among other things, and then demanded to know why my view of this presidency has remained negative. Charlottesville is why. There are policies the administration has pursued with which I disagree. And there have been incompetencies in the pursuit of policies like the repeal of Obamacare I've found disheartening. But these are disagreements and failings I could live with, I think, when I consider what the policy alternatives might have been under Hillary Clinton. I couldn't live with myself if I supported a president who can't bring himself to denounce Nazis and white supremacists unqualifiedly and by name. I've also been basically ordered to support the president by conservative intellectuals for the good of America, just as Daenerys Targaryen keeps telling Jon Snow on Game of Thrones to bend the knee to save Westeros. This is a civil war, the former media mogul Conrad Black wrote this week about the liberals who are seeking to destroy Trump, and Black insists that the choice, for sane conservatives, is Trump or national disaster. Really, and what if the choice is between national disaster and national disaster like everybody else? Our president watched video of a white supremacist deliberately drive a car into a crowd of liberal protesters, and then back up the car and drive back over them again. And our president responded by condemning violence on many sides and offering his best regards to the casualties. This was not a mistake on Trump's part. This was a deliberate communications choice. It has a discomforting parallel with the now-forgotten moment, 1 week after Trump's swearing-in, when his administration issued a statement on Holocaust remembrance that did not mention Jews. The administration defended itself by saying it was being incredibly inclusive of other Holocaust victims. We saw more Trumpian inclusivity on Saturday in his jaw-dropping effort to spread the blame around for a riot for which Nazis and white supremacists were overwhelmingly to blame. They came to Charlottesville to provoke a riot over a decision to move some Confederate statuary, and they succeeded. To be sure, the people who met that violence with more violence deserve censure and arrest. The so-called Antifa left has done despicable things over the past year, and its crimes deserve more attention. But in this specific case, the protesters in Charlottesville, even the violent ones, cannot be considered equal in fault in any way. They were responding to agitation. They were not the causes of the agitation. They weren't carrying Nazi flags and chanting, "Jews will not replace us." They weren't bringing the latest terrorist tactics to our shores in the form of the automotive slaughter we've seen in Jerusalem and Nice and London. The president's refusal to name the evil in our midst is the behavior of a man whose moral sense is stunted, if he has a moral sense at all. This is what I feared would be the case when he became president. Perhaps those who say I have an obligation as a conservative to support Trump should wonder what their moral obligations require.